Hey guys, James here from plumberparts.co.uk, and today I'm doing a little review on soldering copper pipe and some of the new ways that you can do it. I've seen a few reviews on Fluxuators, and to be honest, they were too early after the Fluxuator had come out to actually give it an honest, proper review. And what I'm thinking here is that I've used this now for months, I've used this on loads of jobs, and I'm now happy to give you guys a review on it, knowing exactly what its pros and cons are and how it works. So let's have a look at it now. My phone's ringing, I better go and answer it. It might be a job. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat and Twitter, and I'll see you soon. Oh, it's the wife. Emily. I've just started filming, you bumhole. Right, guys, so let's have a quick look at this little Fluxuator itself, which is what we're going to be using to demonstrate the method for soldering and what I usually do. It's got a little protective cap on it. If you look inside, we've got some small ventricles or tentacles, octopi. And what happens is you sort of twist this bottom cap just here, and then as you do that, you'll notice that flux starts to come into those little sort of brush bits there, and then you can push your pipe in there and then start twiddling that around and getting flux evenly coated on your pipe. Now, the obvious advantage of this is it means you don't get flux everywhere, and that is the best thing ever. I mean, look at that. You can just dump that in your tool bag, just like so, and not have to worry about, you know, getting flux everywhere and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about having flux brushes as well, because I've thought about that. I'd say this, the biggest hindrance for the Fluxuator is this brush isn't like brilliant. It sort of helps you get around certain problems. If I was you, I'd still just have a standard flux brush maybe. Just have one so you can put it in the end and then get it round. Talking about the flux itself, because it isn't just normal flux, this is supposed to be completely neutral, and I've seen guys at trade shows actually put this flux in their mouth, which you're never going to catch me doing in this video because I'm not completely mental. So what we're going to do, we're just going to pin up some bits of pipe here with a few fittings on there, bits and pieces like that. I'm going to do all my joints vertical. I might do a couple of horizontals, and we're going to use Laco on one side and the Fluxuator on the other. Then we're just going to compare the two. Just want to say as well, guys, once you finish the flux here, you don't throw the whole thing away. You can buy replacement cartridges for it. It does go a long way. It just depends how much flux you like having on your pipe and that. But don't think that this is going to go straight away, okay? This lasts for ages, this stuff. Really, really impressed with it. Let's just get on with using it. Guys, so I've got a couple of fittings here. Let's just have a look at our usual method for clearing up the fitting and getting them ready. So number one, I usually clean any of my copper pipe down with a little bit of emery cloth, and cleanliness is next to godliness when it comes to plumbing. I usually give it a little clean down just like so. We can just put that in here now. Let's do that. Let's show the pipe in position. This, number one, is my first slight criticism of the Fluxuator. It comes in two sizes, and Fluxuator are gonna hate me for saying this, but generally you don't really need to buy the 15mm size, okay? You can get away with using your 22mm size for 15 as well. What I usually do is I'll just get it around here and just do that, okay? And look, that's flux ready to go. Now, you may have seen me a minute ago when I just sort of showed you how all the flux went into the little sort of brushes. All you really need to do is just say 1, 2 clicks, something like that, maybe 3, and you'll start to see, and I can see it already now, the flux is being delivered into the brush. So number one, my little Laco tub, absolutely like battered. Look, it's got bits in it. Oh, seriously, guys, we've all been there on site where we've seen, you know, stuff falling into our flux. So you've got a chippy above you or whatever, you know, it just does get a bit annoying after a while. I'm going to ruin my Fluxuator cap by just screwing it on here, so we always have a good idea then of which bit is which. So we're going to have trouble getting our Fluxuator on here, aren't we? Because we can't get it on like that, but don't worry, no fear. We've got our little brush just here. Let's not move this pipe at all, okay? Can we get a good amount of flux around that? And I definitely can. Happy with that. Right, and then for the other side, our Laco, give that a clean. We want it to be exactly the same. We don't want to give the other pipe a bit of an advantage or anything like that. So let's pop our Laco on there. Now, this is the problem, right? As much as you try, look at that, you can probably see there's just bits in it. It doesn't matter how good or bad at plumbing you are, you're always going to get bits in your Laco because it's an open tub, it's laying there, and there's people on site who aren't plumbers. Just like that. Oh, in you go. Right, so we've got our 2 bits ready. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my flame on an exactly set amount of temperature. So we're going to bring it down. You know what I always say to apprentices, right? For soldering 15mm pipe, you want to hear the soldering on it. It wants to almost sound like the gas cooker at home. Doesn't want to be on real high. So let's get the camera in nice and close and have a good look at both of these solders. We are going to burn the wood, I don't care. I want to see what the run is like. Also, if I do have to go against this without any heat protection, aim at half the fitting away from the wall, and then just use convection for your pipe to actually heat up. Look, so we're ready to go there. Nice run, well done, look at that, in it goes. Then a little tip round here, and a little tip round there. And that's it, that's that one done. Right, let's go over to our Fluxuator one. Oh, nearly there, and it just feels like it goes in. Oh, guys, it's hard to say, it just feels like it goes in better. Oh. I'm having one of these days, aren't I? I'm having one of the days I should not be soldering. I think I had a couple of beers last night. Let's use my little Fluxuator trick. Look, can I use that to clean the pipe off? Kind of can. Does it burn them away? Not too much. Most apprentices get told off for that. Let's just have a look with this. How does that clean off? Not too bad as well. Right, let's see what it looks like once we've cooled everything down a bit. I mean, these aren't beautiful, let's face it, guys. There's some dudes out there on Instagram, right, who I think they have the touch of a virgin to be able to get their pipes so beautiful, to get their solders so exact. So that's a full run on that. Okay, a little bit of a blob there, but these aren't gonna leak. Bit of brasso, oh. Brasso here. Buff the muff. So there's not a massive amount of difference there. Let's just do a little vertical and just see what these run in on the side. Let's get a nice close up for this as well, shall we, guys? We might as well. A little bit of flux on there. Like that, look, it doesn't need lots. Give it a twist if you like. It's up to you, you know. Lay coat, in you go. Let's get some new. Look, let's delve down to the bottom and try and get some that's left there. So there's another little thing that you don't get with a Fluxuator is waste. You all don't get some waste, yow. Right, let's get going. Let's see what they're like. Let's push that down a bit. Too much heat, yow. So look at that, we've got a lovely bit of fire there at the back now. This is why you have a heat mat, guys. I'm not using one today because this bit of wood is going to go in the skip. All of you are going to go, oh, but you should show the apprentices really how to do it. I'm sorry, guys, that's up to you to tell your guys out on site. For God's sake, use a heat mat. In you go. Right, let's get round here, the old up and over flip. Round you go, sweetheart, round you go. All right, we got it on here, we got enough. And then a little bit round to the bottom. Maybe we'll get a little run through. All we have there, pop and pop. All done, that one's done. Right, let's pop round to here. Is this one easier because we can get to the back of the fitting? I don't know. It's not going yet. I can't explain to you the feeling of the pipe on the end of the flux. I can't explain to you the feeling of the pipe on the solder. It doesn't feel rough, if you know what I mean. Not as rough anyway as my soldering today. There we go, all done. Little touch there. One thing I noticed once we've actually done the solders, our Laco side has got quite a lot of residue actually on the pipe from the flux. Don't take my word for this, but as this flux is neutral to heat, I imagine it might be a little bit safer to breathe as well when we're on site. I know now, I mean, when I used to use Everflux, that stuff was brutal. Used to get like asthma off it. It was really bad. I'm burning all that lovely clip up. I'm making the absolute pig's ear of this demonstration, but really what I want you guys to take away from this is whether you guys want to use this as a fluxing tool or not. I'm not here to tell you how far away to solder from a clip, but I'll give you a little tip as well. If you are soldering near a clip, get yourself a wet rag and tie that round the clip and try and seal the clip around in the wet rag. All the water will act as a heat sink and you tend to not then melt the clip. So there you go, a little tip for you there. So let's just get this dried, cooled off. Spin it round and have a quick look. Bit of brass on you round here. Oh, falling off then. Damn, you little pig. Get round here. Ooh, I really have to apologise about the state of my solders today, guys. I really do. These are shockers. For me anyway. I sort of get nervous doing it on camera. It's really weird. So again, looking at the Fluxuator, obviously nice clean runs here. Got a little bit of a blob on that there, but perfectly fine, and is going to hold water and pressure perfectly fine. Same goes for the Laco, probably a little bit of a funny run just down the bottom there, but if we twist that round, we can see that that's run perfectly well all around, and that is a nice clean solder. Dare I say, it might be a little bit cleaner for me than the Fluxuator one that we've just done as well. Right then guys, so we've done a great job there showing you, hopefully, how good the Fluxuator is at doing sort of 15 mil. Also how poor I am at soldering when it's sort of 7:30 in the morning. Don't ever solder before it's 7:30 in the morning, all right, it's bad. Pop these to one side, they're gonna go to the scrapyard and pay for my exquisite alcohol problem. Let's just whip these off and we're just gonna do a couple of 22 mil solders. That as well, just getting that on there now. Guys, this looks so good. Now look as well, what I'm going to use is slightly dirtier, slightly older fitting on this one. Let's test this Fluxuator up against our Laco. Right then guys, so we've done that. Let's give it a few seconds, just let everything cool down a little bit. And then, as I've said many times, a little bit of wet rag. Just close that over the top of that nice and gently. Don't have to go nuts. Just try and clean down your fitting. Usually if I had time, I would wipe this with Laco and get rid of these little blobs, but I don't need to do that. I mean, look how clean. I think the Fluxuator performs even better on 22 mil pipe actually. It just really seems to do well on it. Brilliant. But still a very neat joint, looking lovely, really pleased. And the same here on that one as well. So there you go guys, I think you get the idea. Fluxuator is another alternative. It's not the be all and end all guys, you know, I'm not saying that, but I've got to say it's now been a staple in my soldering bag for the last 6 months. I've used it for that long. I wanted to use it for 6 months before I did any kind of review on it, because what's the point in acquiring a new tool and then doing a review on it after like a week and then finding out there's pitfalls with it later on. I've got to say, I just love it. I love the way it sits so cleanly in my tool bag. I love the way I don't get flux everywhere. I love the way it still has a little brush on it. I love the way you can do refills. And I just think it's an excellent tool. The only pitfall I'd say is maybe the brush could be a little bit better, a little bit more like a traditional brush, and also I don't really see the point of them selling a 15 and a 22 mil size. If I was Fluxuator, I'd just concentrate on selling the 22 mil one and just calling that the Fluxuator. If you guys have watched us on Instagram, you'd have seen the stories that we've done around this. You could have seen behind the scenes stuff of us actually doing this shoot at the moment. Let's Instagram you guys now, let's do it. Oh yeah guys, look at that, just doing a lovely bit of work on the Fluxuator versus Laco here. Oh yeah! Right guys, I've got 7 Fluxuators to give away. Here's how to enter this competition. You've got a week to do it, okay? And you'll see all the details of the competition on the post. Number 1, please can you go and follow me over on Instagram. It's 100% my favorite social media, and it's the one that I'm most interactive on because it's a lot more about stories and it's a lot more about photos that you guys send in of your plum proud stuff and also the plumbing disasters as well for Wild West Wednesday. Number 2, find this post that's appearing next to me at the moment, that one there. Okay, and I'd like you to comment as to why you think you should win, like the post and tag one of your mates on Instagram in it as well. If you haven't got a mate, just put I'm a sad person, don't have any mates, all right? I've got these beasts in to give away, so I really can't wait to get them out there to you. Also, whoever does win them, I'd love to be able to have a bit of a dialogue with you afterwards to see what you think about this tool. I love it, I think the Flux is great. I've never had any leaks with it at all, and it's just brilliant, so clean, kind of reinventing the wheel, I guess. Some people are gonna go, oh, I love me old Laco, I don't want no new stuff, I'm just an old git. Or I love Everflux, I love breathing that stuff in. I got Everflux in my eye once. Oh my God, it was the most painful thing ever, but there you go. Some of you are gonna like this, some of you are not. Some of you are gonna think it's pointless. Get your hands on one. They're not much money, they're only like a tenner. Give yourself 6 months of using it and then tell me whether it's gonna be a staple in your toolbox or not. Anyway, thanks ever so much for watching today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. It wasn't about how to solder without burning a wall. It's nothing about that. So thanks ever so much for watching, guys. Please follow us on Instagram, enter this competition, Facebook, Snapchat and Twitter as well. And I'll see you in our next video. We've got lots of stuff coming up. I've got a brilliant video of the install of the Vitra concealed frame toilet that I've done. We've got a couple of shower installs to do as well. Plus we've got an under sink water heater install to do. And then all the usual sort of videos along the way that I might have just seen and thought people at Plumber Parts might want to see that. So please subscribe to our channel as well. And I'll see you in our next video. Remember everybody, hold tight, hold tight.
Oh, it's just my love, waiting for that flux to run. It's just my love, waiting for that flux to run. It's just my love, waiting for that flux to run. It's just my love, waiting for that flux to run.
Hey, I was sitting up all night trying to think how to flux it right, but then I came across the Fluxuator and I said, hold tight. What is it that you do? Should I be thinking of you? I wanna be size relief every time that I do my talent says who. I really love your vision, avoiding pipe size collision, and then the on-site derision, so the flux decision. Some of you say that it looks like a gun, but then I never knew that soldering could be this much fun. Carbon copy, old geezer, pipe wheezer, weeder dealers, like Air Max for your feeder divas. It's like Hill Mafia, souped up weavers, typical of old kids and no ideas.
Probably diss this beast after a few beers.
I got no tears, I want to solder that pipe, I got no fears. I'm with a watertight joint for the coming years. Twist and click, boy this flux is sick, can't get over it. I think I've got to go now, cause babe, I need a shit.
It's just my love, waiting for that flux to